Alright guys, so today is the first time I'm ever doing a storytime video. I must admit, my life is a little bit crazy, just a little bit crazy. This video is about the first time, and hopefully the last time, that I almost got mugged. Yes, I remember it like it was yesterday. So I was leaving work after a long shift. I was like the closer. So I normally leave work around 9:30ish, and I work in New York, and I had to commute back to where I live in Jersey. So I'm leaving work, got my train, and then after my train I usually take the bus. So I headed to my bus. Everything was like smooth. It was winter, so it was a little bit cold, and you know, I'm like waiting for my bus and everything's fine. Get on. The bus is like hitting all the green lights. Like I barely had to stop for any stops. Like it was just a straight forward trip home. We get to my stop, and I walk down, like my street is like 2 avenues long for some reason. It's just a really long street, and I live all the way at the end of the street. So I start walking down the street, and there's not really that many street lights. After like 9 p.m. like my block is pretty dark, like you can hardly see anything. So I'm walking down the street, and as I'm walking, there's like this man, like I see like all the way at the end of the street, like walking like toward me, and I'm walking toward him, and I'm like, you know, like he's really far, the sidewalk's really wide, so I'm like, there's like I'm fine. And for me, I grew up in like a very urban city, so I feel like I have very like good street smarts, and if I feel like something's not right, my stomach starts turning, and like I just kind of get like this weird vibe. But you know, I'm like, I need to stop judging people. I need to just walk and get home, and I'll be fine. So I usually walk with like giant headphones on my beats on my ears, but I also like keep the volume low, so I'm still very conscious of like my surroundings. Like I'm not blasting music so I can't hear if someone's walking behind me, kind of thing. So I have my headphones pretty low, and I'm walking, and this guy is like literally right directly in my path. So I decided that I'm gonna walk to the right side so that he can like just keep walking straight, and I just walked around him. I walk to the right, the guy goes to his left. So I'm just like, okay, like why would he switch to the same side I just walked to? Alright, let me walk to the left side. So I walk back to the left. The guy walks back to his right. And I'm just like, what the fuck is this man doing? What is this man doing? So now at this point, my head's like, bitch, you need to get the fuck away from this guy. Like some shit is about to happen. Like my stomach was like flipping, my heart's like pounding. I'm like, I need to get out of here, like out of this situation. But I have to walk down the street to get to my house, and there's literally nowhere else for me to run or like go. So I keep walking, and then at this point, this guy has a hood on. Like I'm starting to like make out his like face and stuff. So he has a hood on. He's like 6 foot. I'm tiny, y'all. I'm like 5'4", 5'5". This guy's 6'2" at least. So he's like really tall, and I'm walking. I'm just like, holy shit, this guy is like, what's up with him? Like he's being weird as fuck. So I switch to the right side again, and he switches to the right side again. So at this point, I stop walking. And I dropped my headphones. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, what's your issue? He starts fidgeting in his pocket. And I'm like, oh my god, he gonna pull out a gun? He gonna pull out a knife? I'm not famous yet. I'm not supposed to die here today, right now. I'm also broke, so if he mugged me, he gonna be really disappointed because I don't got shit in my pocket right now. A bus pass? He wants my bus pass? He could take my bus pass. So I blankly stare, and I'm like, like, yo, he's being weird. And then he starts walking closer to me. And I back up. And I'm just like, yo, what are you doing? Like, bro, back up. I'm telling you right now, don't fucking touch me. Don't fucking... I'm like cursing at this point, like loud, because we're in a neighborhood. You would think that all these houses, someone would hear something and be like, let me go look out the... Cause I know me, when I hear noise outside, I be peeking out my curtain, out my window, like, what's going on? But people literally, no one was around. I'm like, where all the people go that just got off the bus with me? Like, none of them went down this street, all of them went to other streets. It's a very like fight or flight like instinct that I have. And let me be real, like I said, this man is 6'2". I'm tiny and skinny, and I wasn't gonna be able to take this guy. I knew for a fact like this man was gonna like do some crazy shit. I wasn't gonna be able to defend myself. So I literally paused, looked at him, and then just jolted into the street. Like I booked, like I ran for it. And he started chasing me. I ran and I look, and this guy literally started running too. But he did not know that Johnny used to run cross country and track like literally all through like elementary, middle, and in high school. Bitch, I can run. Let me tell you, there's one thing I'm proud about myself is that I can, if I gotta sprint, I will sprint. And if you're sprinting for your life, it's a different kind of like feeling. At this point, I didn't feel my legs. They kind of just moved themselves. But I sprinted and I ran into the street. But I went in between, like there's cars parked. So I ran in between the parked cars to get to the middle of the street. Like literally I threw myself in the middle of all these houses. So if anyone could see me, like I'm literally running down the street. There's no fucking way that no one can tell that this man is like chasing me or whatever the hell. So I run in the street, and at the same time, I'm like screaming, "Don't fucking touch me! Don't fucking touch me! Like I'm not playing, bro! Don't, like flipping out, like bro, what the fuck is your problem? Like trying to get away from him." And he's still chasing me, and then I duck back into another car, like back to the sidewalk, cause now he's in the street too. And he tried to duck within the sidewalk, and he fell. Part of me wanted to be like, "Are you okay? You wanna redo? You wanna like chase me back? Wanna go back to the beginning, and like go back down the street? I'll go back down the street, and we'll just do this all over again." He didn't want to do that. He fell, and I was just like, still like in my mind, I'm like, I need to get the fuck out of here. I started like walking fast. At this point, I'm just a block away from my house, so I'm like walking really fast. He had the audacity to literally say, "You have a good night."
Have a good night.
To me, as I'm like walking away, I was like, "Fuck off, fuck off." I'm like, "Yo, no, fuck off," and I just start walking away, and then I get home. After obviously checking, I kept like walking a little back, walking a little back. Cause I'm like, if this man is not following into my house, I don't want him to know where I live. So I keep walking and I look back and I'm just like, I'm almost home. I pull my keys real fast. I call my friend who like lives around the corner from me. "Girl, you would not believe what just happened to me." And I'm just like, "Bitch, this crazy guy just started chasing me." Like I told her all this stuff. My roommate was home from work. So I had to like tell her like, "Oh my god, like you wouldn't believe what just happened to me." And after that, honestly, I would say I got really paranoid walking around my street. This was back in December when it happened, so now I walk around my block like a bad bitch. But before that, I was still very like scared to walk around. So it was very haunting time. And I wouldn't recommend it for anyone. Like it was not fun for me to be chased by this stranger. Yeah, so I guess the moral of the story is just be very cautious with your surroundings. I mean, like when I say very cautious, like rude. When I say like be very cautious of your surroundings, like always be aware who's in front of you, be aware who's behind you. If you live in a city, I think it's like a given. Like if you have like street smarts, I grew up in an urban city my entire life, my childhood, so I've always like, it sucks, but I've always grown up with the mentality of like being cautious around about like who's in front of me, who's behind me, my surroundings, things like that. I never like walk anywhere without my safety being my top priority, which sucks because you want to be able to just walk around and not have to worry. But you know, we live in America in the year 2020, and sometimes this country is a little bit of a hot mess, and sometimes a lot more than sometimes. I hope you guys enjoyed this story time. This is the first time I've ever done a story time video. I hope I did it justice, and yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Woo.